Hey guys, Joe Miles here with ASIO Gear. This is the Mission Whitetail podcast. We're going to be doing a deep dive into what it truly takes to kill these mature bucks. We're going to step outside the box and look at the why for gear, tactics, training, and more importantly, the mindset from over 35 years of chasing these magnificent animals all over North America. Thank you for following along and welcome to Mission Whitetail. Hey guys, welcome back. Mission Whitetail. Got my buddy AJ on today. And before I get AJ off and running, the most positive person, not only in the outdoor space, but in life in general. Guys, if you ever need somebody to motivate you, if you're having a bad day and need some positivity, the Coffee Viking on Instagram, just go follow him, and I promise you it'll lighten your day up. And he has the cutest little boy that he does, that one of the best dads on the planet. Just an all-around awesome human. AJ, welcome, buddy.
Thank you, dude. I'm honored to be on this thing. I'm stoked. You know, I feel like in a very, very short amount of time, you and I went from complete strangers to now I'm sending you photos of my son Riggs whenever he's outdoors or playing in the creek or things like that. And I'm trying to pump you for dad advice and things like that. So no, it's been really cool to see like our relationship grow from a professional standpoint to a friendship standpoint as well.
Well, it sure has, and there are great people in our industry. We're all pretty like-minded, and when you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you know, a work ethic, you know, there's an old saying, and I first time I heard it was in one of those Wolf of Wall Street movies, a fisherman can always spot a fisherman from afar. And that's very true, man. Good people can find good people, and you are definitely one of those people.
Well, man, I really appreciate that. You know, like you said, before we get off and running, actually one of the things that you said to me a while ago, it has stuck with me. And I told my dad about it. I'm like, it is spot on. And you and I were talking, and we were talking about how we both just you just figure it out. No matter what life throws at you, you figure it out. And you told me that I reminded you of yourself and that we're the type that will go up on a plane. They'll hand us a backpack with a parachute in it and send you out, and we'll figure it out before we get to the ground.
No, absolutely right. You got to go. And you figure it out as you go, whatever it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no, I'm super excited. I'm stoked that, you know, we're going to get to see each other all throughout August with the Roadshow coming up and things like that. And so we're going to have a good time. We got a lot of good stuff coming down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's that's a good segue. Let's dive into Wait a minute. Before we do that, we're going to obviously talk about the Roadshow. We're going to talk about some exciting news that we're going to be doing in Iowa. Before we get into that, let's know a little bit about AJ. Tell us a little bit about you. Obviously, you're as passionate a deer hunter as anybody. You've killed a bunch of great bucks. But walk us through, you know, I know you've done a million podcasts, so have I. So give us the AJ Cliff Notes version of you, man.
Yeah. I'll try to give you the down and dirty version. So, born and raised Central Ohio, mom, dad, brother, very, very blessed, amazing family. Dad raised me up that you're never going to be the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, so you're going to have to work harder than everybody else. That was beat into me and permanently ingrained in my mind. Was very fortunate to play baseball for 16 years, all the way through the collegiate level. And then I actually started out a suburban kid, but whole big thing we can talk at a different time about. My 8th grade going into freshman year, school lost sports. I transferred to mom's alma mater, which was surrounded by, it was 3 cornfields and a woods on each side of the high school. So drastic difference, but I spent a lot more time with my cousins. So about 15, 16 is where I would just follow them around and want to do what they're doing. Well, all they did was they hunted and they fished. So they're shooting bows, and once again, very blessed to have good teachers along the way. My cousin and his buddy, they kind of took me under their wing, and he was very, very strict about, I'm not taking you hunting until you can show me. And it was, I need a 2-inch grouping at 20 yards. I need a 3-inch at 30 yards. At 40 yards, I need this. And you are not taking deer outside of 35, 40 yards. Practice, practice, practice. So then I fell in love with that. Fortunately, baseball, hunting, kind of opposite sides of seasons. So I was able to do both. But then once baseball was done, that's when I dove head first, truly fell in love with hunting. And then moving forward, was very blessed to win the 2021 Total Archery Challenge truck, which is probably the largest door opening that I've ever had, because of the fact that I was one of the few people that has taken that truck and built relationships off of that. So I became really good friends with Bear Archery from it, because they make the truck every year, to the point where now I shoot for them. I stayed in touch with Total Archery Challenge as a company, amazing individuals. So I actually did some social media work for them for about 2 years. And just one thing led to another. And it's funny, we're going to talk about the Roadshow, because of the fact that I actually met and became friends with Jacob Leishan and Cody DeQuisto through the Roadshow first, won the truck. That ingrained the relationship even more, and all the way up to the point where now I actually am the media and event director for Lone Wolf Custom Gear. So it was just kind of domino effect. One thing led to another, hunting my way through it. I've been extremely blessed to take some good deer in my time as well. And yeah, I love people and I love the outdoors. And so it makes my job really, really fun, because I get to do all of that on a daily basis.
Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. All right. Question came up. How did you win the truck? What did you have to do to win it?
Oh man. So I always explain it as if people don't know what Total Archery Challenge is. So Total Archery Challenge, if you can envision it, think about like golfing.
Yep.
On a ski resort, but instead of holes, it's 3D animal targets. So hole number one, you ride up the ski lift and you shoot your way down. Hole number one might be a 27-yard armadillo in brush. Hole number two might be a 130-yard moose out in the wide open. And they've got everything in between. That's one thing Total Archery Challenge does, is they pride themselves on stretching your skills, extending your distance, tight window shots, things like that. But every year they give away a truck, and it's this famous truck shot. They give it away every year. It gets better and better every year, fully loaded, camper, top, frame, automatic bed cover, the whole 9 yards. One of the coolest features is actually a tailgate cover that is I believe it's the only certified cutting board tailgate cover in the country. It's a brand called Mountain Hatch. So there's a shameless plug for those guys. I don't have any relationship with them, but it's one of the coolest features. But anyways, every year it's a 111-yard shot on a 3D full-size caribou. And if anybody knows about the 12 ring on that one, it's about the size of a dip can. And so 111 yards, and you have to inside out 12 ring it. I wasn't going to shoot it because it's $15 a shot, and another novelty shot was an African safari hunt, which you've been to Africa once or twice.
Yeah.
And that was $5 a shot at 47 yards. So my buddy and I were there. I'm shooting. I'm having a good time. I've got a couple entries in. He's like, dude, you need to shoot. I'm like, I'm not going to shoot that. It's 3 shots of the African one. Opportunity costs, pros and cons, whatever. He's like, he comes back over later. He goes, no, you have to shoot it because I already bought your ticket. So my buddy Swope, he was in my wedding, amazing individual. He slows me down and I get him going. So we have a very mutual relationship, good relationship. And so he buys my ticket and I step over and I'm getting ready, line up, get ready to take my shot. And this random local guy walks behind me and goes, "Hey, play the crosswinds. It's a lot breezier up where the caribou is." So I stopped and I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "When you line up to where you're going to be." And he goes, "You need to line up 6 inches to the right." And then he disappears. I don't know the guy, never saw him again, never saw him that night. He's just gone. I'm like, okay. Fortunately, the way my bow was set up that year, I had dialed my top pin to 100, and my gap, because of specs, ended up being exactly 11-yard difference to my second pin. So my second pin was at 111 yards. So I just lined it straight up on it, moved over, let it fly. And I'm a big believer that it's going to be what it's going to be regardless. So I shoot. Everyone's freaking out. They're like, "Dude, it's close. It's close. Do you want to see?" They've got binos and spotting scopes and all of that stuff. I'm like, "Nope. If it's in, it's in. We're going to find out when we walk up there." Because you got to walk that 111 yards to go retrieve your arrow.
Yeah.
So then we end up walking up, and at that time, a guy by the name of Tack Rob on Instagram, amazing individual. He does a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff for Tack. He was the one judging it, and we get up there, and he's looking at it, and he's like, "Yeah, no, dude, that's 100% in." So that got me my entry. That's the quote-unquote skill part, and then after that, it's completely blind luck. So the year I did it, they wrote all the names down of the people who got entered, because this is a countrywide event. They wrote all the names down of the people who got entered, turned them face down, and put them on a target, and they backed up to 100 yards and had the father-in-law of the owner shoot from 100 yards at what looks like blank piece of paper and ended up lacing my name.
Oh my gosh. How about
that? And now I'm talking on Mission Whitetail with you. So it's all a domino effect.
Yeah,
it's all
man.
related.
It was all meant to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be. That's so awesome, man. That's a heck of a story. I've never heard that before, but I knew you had the truck. I've seen you in the truck, and it's a sweet truck. So no, that's cool. Well, let's transition into mobile Roadshow, shall we? The Whitetail Roadshow, the new name, the Whitetail Roadshow.
Yep.
Guys that haven't heard about it, I mean, we've talked about it, on the Mission Whitetail podcast some, but give us a grassroots version of, what this thing's all about, and we'll talk about where the events are, the dates, all those things, and then we can talk about the special thing we're going to do in Iowa and get into all of that.
Yeah, we got a lot of treats for folks this year. So I got my computer up as well, so if I look off screen, that's why. But basically, back in 2019, when the pandemic hit, Cody, all the outdoor trade shows shut down, right? All the trade shows in general shut down. Cody didn't just wait around. He's a very go individual, as you know. And he was like, I gotta go to the people. And so basically, it started as the Whitetail Roadshow, or the Mobile Hunters Roadshow, and it started with Cody loading up product and gear in his van, and he would just drive out, and he'd tell people, "Hey, I'm going to be at this campground, or I'm going to be at that campground," and the whole premise was just gear testing and education, and how they go hand in hand, and how important they are, and all of that good stuff. He wanted to keep that face-to-face mentality through it all. And so one thing led to another, word travels, and now all of a sudden he's got 20 people there. He's got 50 people there. He's got 100 people there. This year, one of our events is going to have 200 people there. So that aspect, it just blossomed because of the fact that the event itself is rooted in hunters helping and educating hunters. Real life people, real world scenarios, swapping stories, things like that. And so as we continue to grow, we've brought in different sponsors. We've brought in different brands. Obviously, ASIO is going to be at every single one of the events. Vortex, Onyx, Lone Wolf, obviously. And so Cody and Jacob Leishman are incredible. And they're kind of like my mom and dad, and then I keep them centered and focused. Cody just wants to go, wants all the fitness aspects. He's leading workouts in the beginning because he's a big believer in the better shape you're in, the more successful you can be in the woods because you can get to where you need to be. And then Jacob is rooted in the education piece, and he's wildly intelligent. You've talked with Jacob a number of times. Wildly intelligent, and he handles a lot of the education piece to it all. And then there's me that's saying, hey, this is a good idea. Hey, this is a good idea. How do we blend them and merge them in a one-day event? And then my backstory, I think I went to the Ohio one just as a attendee. My very first one, I was just an attendee. I still look back at the notes that I took. I've got it in my phone, save. And I still look back at those notes from now 5 or 6 years ago because all of them are still relevant. Okay. So we grow it. Last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year, Jacob and Cody asked me to come on to kind of be the third head of the three-headed monster. And my role is a lot of like organization and day of organization. Very similar to now what I do at trade shows for Lone Wolf. And so last year, it was still the Mobile Hunters Roadshow. We set it up from almost like a college course style, right? So it was 101, 202, 303, 404. And the way I explain it to people is 101 is essentially here's how to hang a tree stand. Here's how to hang sticks safely. This is what you should be doing when climbing a tree, stuff like that. The crazy stuff gets into 303 and 404, which I believe you were a speaker on a number of those sessions as well last year. And you can attest to this. We get into if the ridge is this high, but you've got to fall off and there's river flowing. Is it flowing fast enough to carry those thermals down before they start rising? And, what way how to manipulate that around the deer, access points. I mean, it gets crazy with the knowledge that's tossed around. I'll actually usually stop what I'm doing just to listen in to those 303 and 404 sections. So then now moving into this year's going to be a lot of fun because Cody and Jacob wanted to move a little away from that rigorous structure style. So what people can expect this year, if they come out to it, is we're actually going to almost flip it. So the morning part is like people arriving, getting registered, getting their tickets and things like that. And it's going to be trade show style, right? ASIO is going to show off their silent puffy jacket. Lone Wolf's going to show off the .5 tree stand. We got Vortex showing off all of their gear and stuff like that. And it's going to be trade show style. If people are coming to buy and, get discounts and deals, that's going to be the time to do it. Then we're going to roll into speaker sessions where we're going to have tailored speakers at each event specific to like that terrain and stuff like that. So when we go to Iowa, you've got Cody and Andre DeQuisto. When we go to Georgia, we've got Jay Maxwell, Parker McDonald coming out. When we go to Virginia, are you speaking in Virginia, I believe?
Iowa.
You're going to speak in Iowa. Okay,
yep.
So you're going to be in Iowa speaking. In Virginia, we've got Brian Thacker and Zach Robb.
Yep.
So those guys are awesome. And then the Ohio leg is actually going to be at the Hunter podcast farm. And that's going to be a lot of fun as well. But yeah, so we revamped it, renamed it. It's almost like a rebirth, basically. So it's now the Whitetail Roadshow, so everybody knows what to expect when they are coming out. And then, yeah, it's going to be incredible. It's education based. It's laid back. We're going to have the relay this year is going to be top notch. The novelty archery shots are going to be amazing. Food is going to be provided. We're going to have great food. There is an after party at every single one of the shows. So it's going to be an all-time event. Think of it as deer camp with the boys while getting a college education in whitetail hunting.
That's a great that's a great way to put it. Is, you know, it's a lot of alpha guys at these events that know a lot about deer hunting, but it seems to me everybody checks their egos, wants to help, and it's very welcoming. It's a very welcoming event, and it really is. It's from guys that have hunted their entire life. They want to come in and see some high-speed gear, but also hear different perspectives. Like maybe they did get drawn in Iowa, and they want to go hear, hey, how do we hunt these different terrains in Iowa? But it also gets all the way down to the guy that maybe is just getting into it. You know, I was in Iowa last year, and multiple guys, I did a segment on how to layer. And, you know, how to layer clothing. Now, for you, for Cody, for whoever, for a lot of guys are like, how to layer, my God, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know how to layer and how to stay dry when I walk in. Multiple guys came up to me and they were like, dude, thank you. You know, I've just started doing this, and I sweat. I mean, I put in on all this stuff, and I walked in and I died. And you know, the socks you recommended. I'm not beating my chest. I'm just using that as an example of guys that have never hunted before. It literally, one of these shows can increase your knowledge tenfold. I mean, it's like you get a cheat code, and you're able to. And again, guys that are so experienced come to this thing, and everybody's open. Everybody's got the same common interest. Everybody wants to talk about hunting and how to elevate everybody. You know, to get their craft better. So
and you and I have spoke on it on a number of occasions, but I live with a success abundance mindset, basically stating that there is no shortage of success. Sometimes people just aren't willing to work for it or things like that. Everybody that comes to the roadshow, all of our speakers, Cody, Jacob, myself, you, we all have that idea that there is no shortage. Everyone can be successful in the whitetail woods, and this Whitetail Roadshow is going to set you up for success. And Jacob does an amazing job when we're going through our speaker segments and stuff like that. If we're getting too advanced or too technical, he'll back us off, have us explain this piece, and then we'll go back into the advanced aspect. But yeah, I agree 100% with you. Like something as simple as socks can make or break a hunt, and people don't realize how important it actually is. And there's a lot of individuals, sticking with the layering trend or the layering topic. There's a lot of individuals that you don't know what you don't know. And so if they don't know any better, they just suffer through it, and they sweat, and then the sweat cools off and gets super cold. And now you're sitting in a stand in November, it's 25 degrees out, and you're freezing your tail off.
Yeah.
But had you layered properly, which you will learn at the Whitetail Roadshow, you wouldn't be having that issue. And so, yeah, it just, the knowledge passed around is insane. I don't think I may have mentioned it, but this year we're doing Georgia, Ohio, Virginia, and then Iowa.
Tell us, do you have the dates in front of you now, Andrew? We'll probably in the description or whatever, put the dates of the show. But what are they for the guys that maybe got a pen and paper, want to write this down? What are they?
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. So we'll be in, I know I'm going to butcher it, we'll be in Dalnega, Georgia.
Yep.
August 2nd.
Yep.
We'll be in Salineville, Ohio, August 9th. We'll be in Staunton, Virginia, August 16th, and then we will be in Iowa at Lone Wolf headquarters August 23rd.
Yep. And the guys that aren't able to write that down, maybe they're riding in a car or something right now listening to the podcast, they can go to the Roadshow website. It's still the Mobile Hunter Roadshow, right?
So we got rid of that. We bringing everything in-house. So it is a little funky, but if you want to snag tickets to it, it's dyingbreedbowhunter.com. That's Cody's own personal brand, but inside that website, there's two tabs. There's Dying Breed Bowhunter and there's Whitetail Roadshow. Just click on that Whitetail Roadshow. There's a 2025 event tab, and then there's a backstory if you want to know more about the backstory as well. But yeah, while I've got it here, tickets are $50 a ticket. Lunch is provided. You're going to get a 2025 limited edition Roadshow t-shirt, which is awesome. It's Cody's van on one of those yellow heavy incline signs. Super stoked with how those turned out. You're going to get a exclusive 2025 brand discount package. So all of our partners at the Roadshow are doing some sort of deals or discounts or things of that nature. On-site camping pass, and then the after-party meal is actually provided by Onyx, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, it's a heck of an event, man, or events. It's a lot of fun. I've done Virginia and Iowa. I've done Iowa 2 years in a row. Did Virginia last year, and going to be back in Iowa this year. So yeah, it's a heck of a good time, and it's for us. It's our whitetail season is just getting started, and for guys that are maybe Kentucky, North Dakota, that's September. It's time to get the juices flowing, man.
It's right around the corner,
I know,
baby.
and it's time to get in and get serious about it, and yeah. So that we very appreciative for you guys putting this thing on. And guys, if you do have questions or you get confused, just email Joe at ASIOgear.com, and I can walk you through how to get tickets. I will say the Ohio one is maybe already sold out, but there's still some availability in Georgia, Virginia, and Iowa.
Yep.
Let's focus on Iowa. I mean, we'll go ahead and dive into, I guess, the good news we've got there.
I was gonna say, you just want to get to the fun part, what you've been keeping a secret from everyone.
Yeah, that's right. We're dropping the teaser tomorrow, but I'll start and I brought this to you that we were approached. I'll just rip the Band-Aid off. We were approached by a media company that wanted to do a lifetime documentary on the Wensel brothers. And for anybody that doesn't know who the Wensel brothers are, Gene and Barry, just Google them real quick and you'll learn all you need to know about the Wensel brothers. They literally, I get chills when I talk about them, the pioneers of quote-unquote hardcore whitetail bow hunting. Books, paved the way, traditional guys, started, scrape hunting, started, funnel hunting, just developed tactics over the years from boots on the ground and doing it, and just unbelievable guys. They're twins and 100% traditional. That's all they shoot, recurves, longbows. Amazing gentlemen. I think that's an understatement. They are absolute gentlemen. And just guys, me growing up, AJ, you're younger than me, but me growing up, reading articles and books by the Wensel brothers, we get North American Whitetail and there'd be an article in there. I mean, I just could not wait. And so anyway, I've built them up enough here, but the media company came to us and said, hey, Gene really likes the ASIO, what you guys are doing at ASIO. He would love to be a part of what y'all are doing. Would love for y'all to be a part of this documentary. And so, I mean, as soon as I was driving in my truck and I said, yes, we're in. I didn't know any of the parameters or what was going to be involved, but just like jumping out of the airplane without the parachute, I was in.
Yep.
and try to do everything I say I'm going to do, and we would figure it out, right? We were in. And then he, he said, that's great. Let's get this thing started. We've got a whole bunch already in the hopper. So they start putting this documentary, and this group of guys are their next level with the camera. And they sent me some trailers and some clips of it, and it is magical what they have created. And so they said, what do you think about doing a premiere down at ASIO headquarters? And I said, no, this is not the right place. The Wensel brothers are Midwest guys. A lot of guys in South Carolina know, but South Carolina is a tough place to get to. The ASIO headquarters, it's not the right theme. It's not the right setting. And we started thinking about it. I'm not so sure, and Andrew, I don't want Andrew's sitting behind us here. Was it Wells that mentioned the roadshow? Let's not give him credit.
Don't give him credit. No.
Him credit.
You and I had a conversation.
Yeah. It was me. I said, you know what we ought to do? We ought to contact AJ and see what he thinks about doing it at the DeQuisto's home farm. They've got this incredible barn setting it's in the middle of Whitetail Mecca in Iowa.
Yeah.
And I thought, dude, this would be pretty incredible to do a premiere there at the Roadshow. So called you. You thought about it for a minute. I think the light bulb went off, and you also were like, well, go ahead.
No, I was actually gonna say the exact same thing. The same way you reacted to the production company approaching you was the same way I reacted to you approaching me. The answer is yes. We just got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's right.
I had a couple more steps because I had to I had to talk to Cody and Lyshan, but all of us agree. I mean, with what's going on, with what we're doing, what we're hosting, what people can look forward to. Okay, we've got you, Justin Hollinsworth, Andre DeQuisto, Cody DeQuisto, Jace Allen, Josh Christick as our speakers at the Whitetail Roadshow. It's at Lone Wolf Custom Gear headquarters on an 800-acre whitetail mecca farm. Inside, like you said, it's one of those round, almost airplane hangar, farm equipment hangar type barns. And the people that are coming out to it are die-hard whitetail hunters. So what better place to premiere the film on some of the most die-hard bow hunters than at the Whitetail Roadshow at the grand finale event and showcasing the life and the story of the Wensel brothers. So dude, I'm stoked. It's going to be awesome.
We are so fired up. It is going to be great. Gene and Barry will be there, and their really good friend Don Higgins is coming. He'll be there. So I sent him a message and said, hey, I got a couple VIP tickets, and I know you've been a Wensel brother guy, friend forever. And he goes, I don't care. Same thing. I don't care what it takes. I'll be there. I want to support my friends. And so, Higgins will be there. There's going to be some really high-speed guys there with a lot of knowledge. So, again, an opportunity for anybody to come that wants to pick people's brains. And what do they say? A rising tide lifts all boats, and that's
right.
That's what it's going to be all about with the Roadshow. So that's going to be pretty sweet.
That, and especially at Iowa, but if those of you listening decide to come to any event, the biggest thing you need to bring is a pen and a paper or your notes on your phone.
Yeah.
Outside of that, make sure you bring your bow because we're going to have a lot of fun with the novelty shots.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a blast.
It is. It is going to be great. So guys, that's the announcement that we wanted to do was the Wensel Brothers premiere. It's called Brothers of the Bow. Gene and Barry are twins. They're 80 years old, and they will be there. And so if you want an opportunity to meet them, now is about as good an opportunity as you'll get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're still hashing out details. We'll blame Wells for this. He's not returning my calls. We are still hashing out details, but I believe what we're doing is if you buy a ticket to the Roadshow, you get access to all of the Roadshow and the premiere film at the after party hangout of that film. if you do decide you just want to come to the film, I believe we're going to be able to do that. We just have to figure out what that arrival time ends up being.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gotcha.
we'll put that on Wells's to-do list.
Yeah, absolutely. His legal pad is getting full, but I like to make it fuller.
Yeah. He's young.
Yeah, he's
fine.
He only needs 2 or 3 hours sleep a night. I mean, come on.
That's right. Yeah.
Good. What else you want to talk about with the Roadshow? You think we've done it justice? Anything else in your notes here you want to talk about?
I'm trying to think if we missed anything. So we got what you're getting with the tickets. The lineups are insane. With the tickets, it also gives you entry to win. We're giving away a brand new Hoyt RX9 at every event. We're giving away a full Lone Wolf custom gear setup, a Vortex Bino package, custom built arrows from Arrows Anonymous, a lifetime Onyx membership, a full ASIO Gear hunt kit. Which, have you already decided what you guys are giving away with that, or is it just a full kit?
It'll be the whole Sherpa line, which is the jacket, the pants, the vest, the beanie, the gloves. It'll be that whole 90% of the season kit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No, that's awesome. Really, the only other thing I could think of for us to break down, I just told everybody who the speakers are in Iowa. In Ohio, news to me. Apparently, I'm speaking in Ohio, so
good.
Make sure y'all come out.
Yeah.
Cody, Jacob Leishan, Christian Green, Ryan Glitsky, and Zach Robb are all going to be in Ohio speaking, as well as the Hunter Podcast crew, Jared and Jeremy. And then who we got? Honestly, the Virginia's got a lot of the ASIO crew coming out. So we're going to have Meredith Porosnik. She's going to be out there speaking. She's a traditional bow hunter. How many state records does she have? 2?
I don't know. When she's around, I don't think clearly, so I can't. I can't really. Who? What did you say? What was her name again?
Anyways, Meredith's a savage. The Thack Wolf will be there speaking. So yes. Brian Thacker.
Now I'm coming back to reality. Now you got me.
That's right. Chris Wiest, who's killed a number of really good deer. Garrett Benner, and then of course myself, Jacob, Zach, and Cody will be out there. And honestly, the sleeper one is our new event down doing a Southern show. So previously, we always did a Michigan leg and a PA leg. We merged those together into the Ohio leg, and we opened up a Georgia show. And this Georgia show's got some studs on it. Okay, so you got Jacob Leishan, you got Tim Smoke, Zach Robb, you got Kalen Pope, who I would argue is one of the best bow hunters. He's chasing them in Alabama, in the South, and he's getting it done on 40s, 50s, 60s every year. He might even have a couple of 70s out of Alabama, which is not a quote unquote big deer state. I mean, dude's a savage. And then Jay Maxwell, who a lot of people know, and then of course Parker McDonald, who is, we've got stellar speakers at every single event. So I definitely recommend people come out to one of these. And like I said, bring a pad and pen and your bow and come to have a good time, man.
Yep, 100%. Good, man. We are definitely looking forward to that. What we want to talk about some whitetail education and motivation and that sort of stuff, or where you want to take this thing from here.
Well, wait a second. This is your podcast.
I know, but when I have you on here, I want your energy, and I want you.
Listen, I'm an open book. What do you want to know? You want stories? You want breakdowns? What do you want to know?
Let's do this. Since you're sitting there drinking one of them, let's completely shift gears and tell us about the drink that you're sipping on and your involvement there, and about all these Spartan races you just did.
So you want to talk about the importance of health and wellness in the whitetail woods.
I love how you just took my rambling Southern nonsense and made it sound intelligent. Thank you.
I'm starting to realize how tough of a job Wells actually has.
It's mind-boggling, yeah.
I know he's laughing in the background.
Andrew's job on top of that, keeping Wells straight, is it's amazing we get anything done here.
You guys just chase your tails all day, don't you?
All day. Everybody was unloading a semi truck today. Yeah,
I saw that. Is that new gear?
that's our first big shipment, but it was supposed to be palletized and it did not come on pallets.
It was not.
So we had to take it was an entire tractor trailer load box off by hand, and we decided, we've got a little barbecue place right here beside us. I decided to eat barbecue beforehand. Well, the rest of the guys ordered Chick-fil-A, and it's 110 degrees in South Carolina right now. There were some green faces about halfway through this unpacking.
I bet. You ain't getting a forklift on that. But
nope.
Once again, this is where your health and wellness comes into it. So
yes.
Going back to what initiated it, because I know you can't wait to get your hands on some of this. This is the all-new revamped Form Energy. So it's a partnership with First Form and Anheuser-Busch. And basically, Anheuser-Busch took what First Form was doing. They consolidated, so now there's 4 flavors: blue, orange, Screamin' Freedom, and Grape Smash. And now it's going to be distributed nationwide. But with that aspect, I'm very fortunate to actually be one of the outdoor athletes for First Form. And basically what First Form is, it's a health and wellness and supplementation company, but it's a lot more than that. It is a true family. Once again, success abundance mindset. I try to attach myself to positive individuals as well as high quality brands and people within those brands. So I got in with First Form back 2021, had been following Andy Frisella for a very long time. He founded the company and then started the MFCEO project and so on and so forth that I listened to. And so I started using their products. It's all third-party tested. It's all made in a level 3 facility, which from a quality control standpoint, that is the highest level of quality control you can have. 110% money back guarantee, just checking all of the boxes for what a good supplement and health and wellness company does. But yeah, so then I got into that. I've always been an active individual, but I started realizing through the mobile hunting side of things, through attending the Mobile Hunter Roadshow, now the Whitetail Roadshow, that it is so imperative to take care of your health because you're going to be able to do so much more. You know, the folks out in the West, I'm not saying they're all just naturally fitter, but to go chase elk and sheep and those West big game animals, you have to have a level of physical fitness to be able to go do that. Whereas the joke is that the whitetail hunter is the Mountain Dew Little Debbie snack cakes, gas station pizza. Like that's what we do in the season. But I realized that's not what we have to do. Right. And so through meeting Cody and Jacob and a number of other, savage big buck killers, I noticed that all of these guys are taking care of themselves. And the reason being is because, do you have to be in shape to be a whitetail hunter? Absolutely not. You can go climb in a box blind, take your rifle, you got your whole snack cake spread, and a deer can pop out at 300 yards and you can poke them. But if you want to be a mobile hunter, if you want to be a bow hunter, if you want to get to that next ridge, your health and wellness is going to allow you to get to that next ridge. It's going to allow you to find that 180 lurking in the bushes or lurking in the kudzu or the thick nastiness, that nobody wants to crawl around in, but your preparedness allows you to go and do that stuff, So it's one of those things where I just view that as being super, super important. And so that's, they held a athlete contest through First Form for the outdoors division. I was very blessed to have won that. But yeah, and a lot of people will see if you come out to the Whitetail Roadshow, Cody is in great shape. Jacob's in great shape. You're in great shape. You're posting your workouts every day. Even though you only want to do arms, you got to do legs.
No, no. You see how leg day looks at me during.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But no. So it's one of those things where like you'll notice if you take a step back and you take like a third person point of view or a big wide lens. That's what I'm trying to say. If you take a wide lens look, you know, most of those speakers that we have at these shows that are big buck killers, they have a level of physical fitness and health and wellness attached to them. That's not coincidence. It's because of the fact that it allows them to go further, knock on that extra door, walk that extra field edge, dive into the brush and things like that. I was able to go find a very promising spot this coming season, and I might be in my tree stand 3 inches off the ground because there's no way to get it up into a tree stand. And I might just be hunting from the ground because I had to snake in and do that. Well, if I'm, 150 pounds overweight, I'm not going crawling in that. And so it's one of those things where I see it as they go hand in hand. You're going to be a better individual because of it. If hunting is your reason for getting in shape, that's amazing. But you're also going to have a better life in all other facets by taking care of yourself.
Yeah, what I've found is it prevents you from making the excuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're climbing up in your tree and you get to a limb that you've got to maybe do half of a pull-up on to get the stand exactly where he needs to go, and you're not able to do that, so you go, okay, it'll be just fine to put it right here. Whereas in the back of your mind, you need to be able to climb up over that limb and put it where it really needs to go, but you make an excuse. I don't need to go to that next ridge. The chances of them coming down this saddle are just as good. But in the back of your mind, you know that if you were on that other ridge, but it's a little bit more physically demanding to get over there and to get out of there, so you make an excuse. So being in good shape, what I think it does, regardless of what it is, it prevents you from making excuses, physical excuses, and it sharpens your mind. I mean, if I didn't get my morning workouts in, I mean, I know we pick on Wells all the time, but the last probably month he's been joining me on the workouts, and we'll do a 40-minute walk while Andrew's still in his fifth level of REM sleep, and we'll be out walking the complex here at HQ, and man, the marketing stuff we talk about after getting a workout in, our brains are crystal clear. And so, yeah, man, not to get into a full-blown physical fitness conversation here, but it's good stuff. And so
in prime example, I was in Alabama back in January. I was hunting a ridgetop, and my truck is parked behind me, and I had a doe come in, and I smoked her, and she ran the opposite way down into the next gully and expired all the way down in the water. And because of my level of training, I was able to go down. If anybody doesn't know, Lone Wolf Custom Gear actually has a patented shelf locking technology on its tree stands. I was able to go down, quarter her up, back straps, neck meat, everything, game bag, put it into or onto my stand, cinch it tight, and I basically just backpacked an entire doe back out, up over the ridge, back to my truck. Now, did it suck? Sure, but there was also a weird appreciation for it because of the fact that I was thankful that I had taken my health seriously prior to that. So that's just a real world example of why you should take care of yourself.
Yeah, and overall fitness just in general. Yeah, for sure. But First Form, I mean, that's what they're known for, supplements. It's drinks. I know they make like a beef stick type thing. What all products do they have?
Yeah, so it's a full spectrum company. So we've got everything from post-workout protein powders, we've got creatine monohydrate, we've got all the way to the snack side of things. So we were talking about, snack cakes and Mountain Dews and things like that. We've got the energy drinks. We've got beef sticks, which are 20 grams of real protein. We've got level 1 bars, which are basically a healthy candy bar alternative, anywhere from, 230 calories to 280 calories, 20 grams of protein. I've got an apple pie one with me. We just launched cookies and cream. I'm a sucker for pumpkin spice, so pumpkin spice comes out right at deer season, so I load up on that. But yeah, and then we've got our big thing is our vitamin packs. And so once again, we're hunters, we're traveling, we're go, go, go. Our vitamin packs actually come in little individual rip packs. And it's got fruits and veggies, multivitamin, fish oils, antioxidants. It's got full spectrum vitamin pack to take care of those micronutrients that you need. And then obviously we've got the fun stuff as well, like pre-workouts and, pump, matrix and different things of that nature. But yeah, if anybody wants to learn more about that, just contact me directly. Like you said, it's at the _ Coffee Viking on socials, and I'd be more than happy to break down everything. I'm actually discussing our creatine monohydrate versus another brands with somebody right now.
Awesome. And I think that's another thing. You talk about the vitamins and the health. How many trade shows did you do this year?
So I believe it was 4 in February, 4 in March, 3 in June, and we're getting ready to go do the 4 legs of the Whitetail Roadshow.
So that's 15 trade shows.
That's 15 trade shows.
15
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
shows.
And one of them, obviously, is Harrisburg, Great American Outdoor Show, which for those that don't know, it's a 9-day show held on a dirt floor show arena with 10,000 people. How many? No, it's more than that, isn't it?
It's close to 1 million people that come through there.
Okay, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah. No. It's really it's like, Andrew, do you remember the numbers? But it's insane. It's the largest show in outdoor show in North America, and I swear.
But I ran all 9 days, and I was one of the only guys that did not get sick from that show.
That's where I was headed with that. Is that I think you and I during trade show season were I'm looking at Andrew. Andrew was sick. Wells was sick. Rendell stayed sick. Well, Rendell's sick all the time, but it's just he's just in general.
He's sick in the head.
Yeah, he's sick in the head. I hope he's listening to this. That'd be great. No, but poor old Rendell. I think we did 15 or 16, and we're actually ramping that up next year. So he's excited about that. He loves the back to back.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He loves the separation in between them because he drives to the next state and starts scouting.
Right. That is exactly what he does. Yeah.
But,
I need to put a GPS on our van so I can kind of figure out where all that thing's going.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
He told me this year we had to get mud tires for it. I was like, I know exactly what that's for.
You don't need no off-road tires for that van.
Yeah. He's like, the roads get a little bit icy, and he had all the rebuttal. He knew what I was going to come with.
He planned it for sure.
He had it scripted. He definitely showed me some video of ice blowing across the roads and stuff. So he's got it planned.
He probably pulled that from the internet. He didn't even see any of that.
It was AI.
Yeah, exactly.
It said something about Bezos at the end. So yeah, I know. It was AI.
But yeah, no. I mean, our industry requires us to be balls to the wall, go, go, go at all times. And it's one of those things too where with what I do and with what you do and with what Rendell does for ASIO, we quite literally can't get sick.
Right.
If we get sick, stuff doesn't get done.
Yeah.
And so that's why we call it its first form microfactor, and it's basically loaded with micronutrients that your body needs. That's why I so religiously take that, and having those nice little rip packets. Dude, I just throw 5 of them in. I got enough for the show. It doesn't matter if I'm drinking an energy drink, talking with you right now. I could rip it open, down it, we're good to go. Or if I'm in the middle of the show, and I'm like, oh, it's in my pocket, rip and go. It's so convenient and nice to carry it.
Yeah. No, and it's helpful. I mean, proof's in the pudding with with how we avoided the sickness at all those shows.
Yeah.
So good stuff. But all right, in closing, I do want to touch on what you just the psychotic event that you just did back to back to back. Guys, AJ's a little bit humble, and I'm going to try to bring this out of him the best I can. But please, when I read that text message, my stomach, back, quads, ankles, I think I developed gout and a tendonitis in both knees.
That was your body's way of preventing you from ever trying to do that.
Yes. Walk us through what you just did, and we'll get this thing wrapped up because this is pretty amazing.
Yeah. So back in March, I entered a contest that a different First Form individual was hosting. He is basically the front man for First Form OCR, or obstacle course racing. Now that's Tough Mudders, that's Spartan races, that I think there's a number of other ones, but those are the ones that always come to my mind. DECA, I think, is another one. But I always look at Spartan races as like, those are serious.
Yeah.
So I entered this giveaway. I was fortunate enough to win. The winning piece to the giveaway was a ticket to the Utah Spartan Race Trifecta Weekend. And what that means is they do all three of their main races on that weekend. Excuse me. So I won the 5K ticket. Well, I'm a new dad. I got a 2-year-old. I got a wife. I'm also supposed to be this outdoors athlete and provide a positive image. And so I said, well, if I'm coming all the way out to Utah, I might as well just do all of it. Now, to put it in perspective, the Trifecta Weekend is a 5K race. Well, let's do it in the morning. It's on Saturday, it's a 13.1 mile half marathon with 30 obstacles. This is on a ski resort, Snow Basin Ski Resort.
So it's at altitude.
So it's at altitude. We started at 8,000. We may have started at 6,000, but there was 4,800 feet of elevation gain in that race. So we went from 6,000 up to 10,000 and some change. Then you roll right into the 5K, which was a 5K and 20 obstacles. And that was a big, like, First Form group. We had 40 individuals all associated with First Form, people whose lives have been changed and they lost 120 pounds and 75 pounds and just incredible stories. That was a big group race there. And then roll right into Sunday, and it's a 10K with 25 obstacles. So half marathon, 30 obstacles, 5K, 20 obstacles, 10K, 25 obstacles. And once again, to put it in perspective, for me, I was always the skinny kid with abs. So all of my training has been bodybuilding style workouts, compound movements, like the bench, squat, deadlift, trying to put on mass and put on size. I have never, up until 2 weekends ago, I had never ran more than 5K. And this is like way back in the day. But that was March. It was 2 weeks ago, so that would be July. So I was like, you know what? My training that I'm currently running, that's First Form has its own app, and there's 52 different training programs. One of them is actually for hunting. 2 of them are actually for hunting. So it's called Built for the Hunt. That's the program I'm running now. And I just used my off days or rest days as my running days. And so I just was doing 5K here, 5K there, just run for an hour straight, but that was really all I did to train for it. But yeah, so it was humbling. It was an incredible experience. I actually, while going on one of the inclines, I actually had a double quad lockup. And so I'm running up this incline, and all at once I legit, and I'd never had this happen. And unless you've had it happen, you really can't like comprehend it, I guess. But I'm up at, 9,000 feet up on top, midway up the ski resort, and both quads locked up to where like my legs could not bend. So I had to turn around, and I just kind of like sat there. There's other people running and stuff like that, and I just kind of had to like sit there and let it pass. And this is at mile like 5.
Oh my gosh.
And so from there, anytime there was like a water spot or things like that, I mean, I was hitting salt packets and hydration sticks and all of that stuff just to try to get that cramping to go away. But yeah, it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever done. And I'm very glad I did it because, like I told everybody else, being a dad, I'm his first superhero, and I want to be his superhero for as long as possible. The only reason I did that was because there's a special medal you get if you run all 3 in the same weekend. And so that's now hanging in Riggs's room so that as he gets older and as he looks at it, he can look at that as I can do anything I put my mind to. Yeah. But that was the whole reason I did any of that. So it was pretty incredible.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad we got to touch on that. That's important. So that's amazing. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate you taking an interest in it.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Well, brother, we've been rocking for about an hour here, man. Thank you so much, and I know we could go on for another hour, and maybe we will. We'll come back and do another one. Maybe once we get into whitetail season, get a couple bucks knocked down, we can circle back and talk some more.
Yeah. I was gonna say that sounds good. We'll do a deer camp style and just tell whitetail lies to each other.
I love it. Let's do that for sure. AJ, thank you, my friend. Y'all check out the Coffee Viking Instagram, and absolutely, if you get a chance for one of these whitetail road shows, absolutely you need to come do it. Thank you, boys.